Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel called Mo 3D. And sorry about the lightning behind me. It's a bit sunny today. We thank God for that. Today I'm just trying to share a testimony that happened to me last year. And what brought this is, I told you last week I was a bit under the weather, but thank God I'm healed completely. It just made me to think and just appreciate God. Sometimes you don't know the worth of what you've got until you lose it. It's just when you think about health wise, you can stand up, you can work, you can go walk around, you can eat, drink, without no obstacle. But when you're unwell, this is more like an hindrance for you to do most of the norm you normally do, and there's nothing like good health. Okay, back to my testimony. So my testimony is more about how God healed, how God's goodness, actually is goodness in my family. It concerns one of my child, the first son, who was the second child of mine. And the testimony is, how God helped me to be, shall I say, sensitive and to yield to his words and to act quickly. And what happened was my son, it was during the school days, he woke up and he stated to me, "Mom, I don't feel too well." And I was like, I thought he was just making up, don't want to go to school. So I just told him, "No, you need to snap out of this. You need to go to school. It's a school day. Don't be lazy." So I gave him some paracetamol, and after that, I took him to school. They normally in Manchester, because the routine and the protocol for school resumes 9 o'clock, but back in Africa is quite different. I think we resume as early as 8 or 7, half 7, thereabout. But in Manchester, in United Kingdom, is quite different. So they resume by 9. So by 9, he was in school. Say, and after I dropped him in school, say in about 2 minutes, or say, no, that's kind of underestimation. That's like, say, about 5 minutes. I got a call from his school saying he's not feeling well, he doesn't look well. So I went quickly. Actually, I was at the gym. So instantly I went quickly. And when I got to his school, I saw he was quite short of breath. He wasn't breathing properly. When one is short of breath means you kind of can't breathe normal. Just like I'm breathing normal now, he was like gasping for air. That's something like that. So because I work in health profession and I look after a patient like that, so I know this doesn't look well. It wasn't like this when he left home. But normally, sometimes they call you from school to pick your child up, but you realize that the child, is something you can kind of, deal with at home. But so most of the time, and when I picked him up, a few minutes going to where we parked our car, he vomited twice. Yeah, vomited twice. So, and the spirit said within me, just take this boy to where he can be checked quickly. So the thing is, in Manchester, we have something called GP, general practitioner, means the doctor in like a clinic. But it's quite difficult to book an appointment. Sometimes when you book an appointment, they can give you like, say, 2 weeks before you can get seen. And this, I've kind of assessed the situation that this boy needs to be seen. So there is like a walk-in center, like a clinic you can just walk to. We've got like the doctors, the nurses that they could assess your child immediately, and if they will give them the relevant treatment that needed to be done. So I took him there, and even at the point of taking him there, He can't even walk. He couldn't even walk himself. That's something. Back in, as a mom, you don't think of what other people are thinking. You think about, oh, your kids, your family. So I just put my son on my back, and the walk was like, because where we park the car is like in town center. There's no way the car can go, to where some of the shops. So you have to park your car like say 10 minutes or 5 minutes distance. So I was able to park my car in say like 5 minutes distance. So no, say yeah, 5 minutes distance. So I parked the car. I couldn't even walk from where I parked the car to the walking center. So I think the estimation of the walking center was from the car where I parked the car, and the center was like say 7 minutes. He couldn't walk at all. I just put him on my back. You know how we African moms normally put the kids on the back. So I put him on my back and I carried him. He's almost as tall as me actually. He was 9 last year, so he's 10 this year. So I put him on my back and I was just carrying him, walking so fast, and at the same time I was praying. But as a Christian, when you find yourself in some situation, you have faith. You don't think about the worst that can happen. You just think about the positive and just pray inside you. Say, oh, God, just take control of this situation. So he was so short of breath, he couldn't breathe properly, and he was not asthmatic. So that was what I was baffled about. He wasn't asthmatic, no ever symptoms of asthma. But he's been having, some of, in the past, he's been having chest infection, which is norm for kids to have anyway, and they've been treated for that. So I took him to the walk-in center, and when I got to the reception, she said the waiting time would be 20 minutes. And I told her, sometimes, God teaches just to be courageous. I said, look, the thing is, I don't mind waiting for 20 minutes, but I just need my son to be checked first. If he can wait, I have no problem with that. But I'm sorry. She was more like trying to make an argument about it. I said, I don't have to argue, love. Just listen to me. He just need to be checked first. Then if he can wait for 20 minutes, that's fine by me. But I need him to be checked now, instantly. So I filled the form within, say, 2 minutes. He was called in just to be checked, assessed, and see if the situation about him wasn't worse. So when we got into where the room he has to be assessed, the practice nurse assessed him. I was like, why didn't the school call an ambulance for this boy? I was like, I don't know, but that was why I brought him here, because I know the situation is quite worse. And so she instantly gave him a nebulizer, which is more like a vaporized medication where you can inhale through the hair. I mean that you have to use with oxygen, so it vaporizes it into your lungs. So she gave him that to clear his lungs, and she gave him 2 doses of that within within 5 minutes he was being seen, because he couldn't breathe properly. And instantly she called the ambulance and she told them it was an emergency. So they came within 5 minutes, and he was taken into the ambulance truck and the van. And so when we got to the van as well, he was given more of this nebulizer to clear his respiratory system, so he could be able to breathe properly. But at this way I was with him, I really called my hubby and explained the situation of things to him. And so before we got to the hospital, I think sometimes God send people to you that kind of understand your situation. So they already kind of called the hospital, the children hospital, for a standby, because he was unable to breathe on his own. He needs help with that. So when we got to the hospital, instantly the nurses welcomed us and just took us straight to the bay where he will be looked after. So instantly they kind of commenced treatment with him and put him on the nebulizer medication as well. And but that wasn't working. They put in a cannula, more like a cannula, more like a device that they put in the vein. It's more like so they could give medication through the vein. and they put that as well, and they gave him medication as well through the vein. I can't actually remember what the medication was called actually, but it's just to help to clear, the airway. But that wasn't working as well, and I think during that time my hubby came around, and we had to, and then that was in the morning, say around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and it was really, 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 it was not really, I wasn't seeing any improvement in him. And I think the doctor, they reviewed the situation of things, and they quickly, stated that it should take him to the, I think, is it not the special unit in the emergency unit. He was taken there. He was given all sorts. He was put on the cardiac monitor and everything, and he was admitted for a week. He was taken to the critical care as well, and going through all this. But the thing was, the summary of this is, God eventually, solved the situation and he healed him, and we kind of got a diagnosis that he had this exacerbation of asthma, which he never had before, and he was commenced treatment on that. So what my testimony is just trying to, pass across is, it's always good to pray for you, for as individual, because I learned a lesson from this as well, for you to know when the voice of God is speaking to you. Sometimes it could just be your knowledge, your subconsciousness, but when the Holy Spirit is telling you do this, because I just reflected back and thought, what if I have taken him home, say, because and the thing was, after we got to emergency center, he lost consciousness within 2 minutes. When I say lost consciousness, he couldn't open his eyes. Okay, he was put on oxygen though to help with the breathing, but he couldn't open his eyes. He was so lethargic, means he was so tired, he was so weak. And I just thought, God, I thank you, because if I had waited, say, 2 minutes, it would be something that I felt, thank God, because I just thank God. And it's just God been so faithful, making me, and it could be used well to, I know someone as well might have like a testimony, that even is kind of greater than this. We having this lesson that we should always be grateful that he gives us this heart, this ear, to listen, to hear him, and to know his voice, and to act on it as well instantly. Because there's times that things that are not quite serious as these, that we just overlook it, and when the Spirit tells you do this, and you just say, oh no, I'll do it later, and that eventually what the Spirit is telling you, eventually, it happens. For example, I could remember when I was going to the shower, and the Spirit was telling me, oh, could you just take off your earring, because mostly I use small stud earrings and the stud ones, and I was like, oh, I'll be careful, and eventually I lost the earring, even though I was very careful in the shower. So it's just appreciating his goodness, and him helping me to recognize his voice and doing his bidding instantly. So that's my testimony, and just want to share this with guys, how my fellows out there, just that I'm so thankful for his goodness. He's forever faithful, and this year the boy is 10 this year, so I don't want to take his grace for granted. And so that's my testimony, and I'm just trying to encourage someone out there as well to always see the good path, and try as well to always don't look at what's happening now, just have faith, and when you're in a situation of things, always be very, very, sensitive to God's voice. Be very sensitive, because when it tells you to do something, just do it. Remember, just do it, and it will help us. And that's it, love. And I hope you enjoy this big testimony of mine, because it's a big thing. And I thank God because he has been good. He has been faithful. He has been faithful. He has been very faithful. I don't want to take his grace for granted. And I just hope that you kind of you can reflect this as well, to how faithful God is. And so I hope to see you guys next week. And just stay blessed, and look after yourself, and just say see ya and bye.